because this video dropped like 2 weeks ago and I didn't know. Somehow, do I have notice on? I didn't have notice on. That's why I didn't see it. All right. Well, I got notice on now, so we're gonna check this out. Sisyphus 55. I saw he did a podcast episode with Olivia Sunvia, whatever her thing is, man. And I've watched a couple of her videos before. She cool. But I didn't watch the podcast episode because it was pretty long. And most of the time, I don't be wanting to watch anything that's long normally. Just because like, I have other things I could watch. You know what I mean? Like live streams. Like Twitch. Oh my god! I forgot to run the intro. I have an intro now. You know, like, come on, bro. We're official now, bro. We're official. You know, pull up to the Switch. But either way, I didn't watch it, but I did see that it was about, you know, a similar concept, man. The way that humans think about love, man. So, at least currently. Probably in the future. I mean, in the past too. But either way, man, how we think of love is messed up. Let's watch it, bro.
Relationships can be tricky. Many spend their days dreaming about finally meeting that so-and-so who will justify their existence and fill that hole in their heart. Most of our media is characterized by the romantic pursuit, portraying love as a battleground of risk, hope, and making someone your everything. And much of our free time is filled up with swiping on dating apps, going out to bars and clubs, and talking about our romantic interests, all in the openly cynical and yet privately hopeful possibility of finding love. And then, once you're in it, at least 50% of the time, it becomes an uneven affair of hurt feelings and missed expectations. You engage in the desperate mental gymnastics of someone trying in their earnest to find a reason to stay, to somehow turn a blind eye to the possibility that this just isn't working out. Simone de Beauvoir, the famous existentialist author, wrote
Bro, because I just thought about like if this was like a live event, like a TED Talk. Somebody's like trying to, you know what I'm saying, talk to us about how love is going. And then it's you just literally breakdancing on the floor as this man's talking about like divorce, bro. Oh my god.
Extensively about the asymmetrical expectations that characterize many relationships. She believed
I can't take this serious now, bro. Oh my god.
A blind eye to the possibility that this just isn't working out. Simone de Beauvoir, the famous existentialist author, wrote extensively about the asymmetrical expectations that characterize many relationships. She believed love to be an inherent component to the human condition. We wish to be with another, to be heard, to be affirmed in who we are. And yet, time and time again, this very desire leads us astray into relationships that scar us and make us forget who we truly are. For Beauvoir, this common occurrence only further justifies the necessity of a sort of ethics of love, a project that she would pursue throughout her life.
WA
This would be quite difficult. This is entire faster casts of popular. This is a
W-ad.
Beauvoir saw the very ambiguity of love as a gateway to exploitation. This is apparent in the gender differences that define love. Boys, generally speaking, were encouraged to have projects for their lives, to see love as part of life, not all of it, and to believe that success was possible in more than one part at once. Girls, by contrast, were encouraged to see love as life itself, and to believe that to succeed at other things might make them less lovable. Whereas
I honestly, like, it's so crazy because for the longest time, that was like the expectation. You know what I'm saying? Like, as a woman, like, you have to like appeal to somebody. I mean, back then, a man, and like have kids, and then like then you were valid. Like as a being. Kind of crazy, bro. But I feel like something that is kind of overlooked is like the new age version of that, where especially like my generation, right? Gen Z. We all grew up, you know what I'm saying, watching the same stuff, listening to the same music, all that, right? Think about every single like Disney Channel original movie. You know what I mean? High School Musical, Starstruck, How to Build a Better Boy. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. It was kind of just geared around like that teenage dream, like, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna meet someone in high school, you're gonna, you know what I'm saying, get older, marry him. Like, that's kind of a lot of people's expectation. And so it's kind of in a way still like, you know, you're not valid until you find someone. It's just not as aggressive on that thought. But it's just kind of weird, bro. Like, I feel like in society, we're just so focused on like being with someone for some reason. Which, like, yeah, it's valid, but I feel like in a lot of ways it's kind of just like forced down people's throats. You know what I mean? It's just weird, bro. It's weird, but at the same time, and I've said this before, humans are not good at monogamy, bro. As much as people like to believe that they are, they're just not. By nature, we're not built like that. I don't know who came up with the concept of marriage, but they're kind of dumb because humans aren't, like, they don't function like that. Yes, some can, some have figured it out, and we're still trying to figure it out for some reason. But, you know, it's just weird, bro.
As men see freedom as their true calling, whatever that calling may be, women are taught to see love as their key to freedom. This naturally leads to some level of asymmetry in romantic expectations. Men have been generally taught to seek their romantic interest as somebody who will vitalize them and challenge them, unlocking their true potential, but nonetheless submitting to the man's power. They appear to provide almost mystical help to the man.
Yo, Manic Pixie Dream Girl. I think this was one of the first videos I watched. Was it from him or was it someone else's video? Was it Aperture or something? I forgot, bro, but that was an interesting video too about like similar topics.
Reminiscent of the popular stock character of the Manic Pixie Dream Girl, who acts as a quirky, attractive, and spontaneous woman who encourages the male protagonist through their resistance.
Was that a film video? I forgot. Hold on, because now I gotta find it, bro. Whose video is that? Because that's like how I started watching one of these channels. I don't think it was The Take. Was it The Take? It might have been The Take, actually, which I don't even watch them like that for real. Okay, there's too many videos on it, man. I can't lie.
And yet yielding validation of the man's true essence. We can see this trope in Breakfast at Tiffany's, and a deconstruction of this trope in 500 Days of Summer. Beauvoir quite poignantly defines this issue early on. The average Western male's ideal is a woman who freely submits to his domination, who does not accept his ideas without some discussion, but who yields to his reasoning, who intelligently resists but yields in the end. This, of course, isn't limited to one gender or the other, but is rather the norm as presented in media. The Manic Pixie Dream Boy is also a common trope.
Yeah.
For both genders, Beauvoir, as well as a list of many other thinkers, discourages us from viewing love and relationships as the key to salvation. We should not rely on another to make us feel whole. Like money, material goods, social approval, and countless other culturally constructed ideas that promise us freedom or happiness, treating love as a means to an end will more often than not lead to an unsatisfactory relationship. This argument is brought forth in Becker's The Denial of Death, who sees the age of secularism as becoming increasingly reliant on romantic relationships, as fulfilling our two ontological motives of feeling special and unique, and also belonging to something larger. Whereas God used to give us the assurance that we are valuable and good, we now seek such fulfillment in another human. The only issue is that they too are human, with their own
I honestly love to see, like, and this is gonna sound crazy, but I promise it's not like whatever. I don't care, bro. I don't. I love to see like women on Twitter genuinely getting mad at people calling them mid. Like, it's so funny to me. It's so funny. Now, yes, it happens with men too, but not in the same way. Men get mad when people call them mid when they're like a rapper. If they're like a rapper, then they get mad. But if it's just like about looks or whatever, or like personality, like I've never seen, at least me, I've never seen a man like literally like mad that some random human being on the internet called them mid. But I don't know, bro. I don't know. I feel like a lot of people just don't understand the concept of perception, bro. Like, it's so weird.
Works and existential
It'd be like
anxieties.
that, though.
Such relationships often end in resentment or boredom, serving only to distract individuals from facing their fear of meaninglessness and death head on. What might these unhealthy relationships look like? Beauvoir presents us with two forms of failed love: narcissism and devotion. The relationship of narcissism, quite plainly, is loving oneself and loving in the other the love they have for you. This is apparent in the manic pixie dream girl fantasy of the man, who likes the idea of their partner and enjoys the encouragement and validation that comes with being with them. This fulfills the ontological motive of feeling unique and special. However, their lover is still nothing more than a small character in their life story. They neglect the fact that there is
main character syndrome, bro.
Another in the relationship, with their own potential and good waiting to be encouraged and cultivated. Simply put, the narcissistic relationship is self-serving and dehumanizing. It often ends in the other feeling neglected and unwanted. On the other hand is devotion. If narcissism is making your partner into a side character in your life journey, devotion is letting your partner write that story for you. This is apparent in the love is everything fantasy socialized in girls, where the other is to be treated with the utmost devotion and given total autonomy. The devoted is there to serve the other entirely and acts as a gift to the lover. This fulfills the ontological motive of belonging to something larger. How special is it that this person has chosen you? You may even believe that it's meant to be, slowly forgetting yourself in the attempt to maintain a relationship that is anything but destined. Instead, you continually make compromises, allowing your true love to slowly define who you are, thus making it ever the more difficult to leave. You have made them your everything. Each side, both narcissism and devotion, is present in any relationship. To like someone a bit too much, or to also want some space, isn't unnatural. But Beauvoir is addressing the issue when these turn pathological. Neither is true love, but rather reflections of individuals who do not know themselves quite enough. Neither may be acting maliciously, but the damage can be nonetheless tremendous. Ethical love, then, is an equilibrium, a balance between absolute self-interest and absolute selflessness. As Beauvoir notes, it is to simply walk side by side, mutually helping each other a little. We give ourselves, but without losing ourselves. We share each other's lives, all the while respecting the fact that the good you see in the other cannot be restricted, but should rather be free to grow unencumbered by your own idealistic expectations. You love them for who they are. This can, of course, be corrupted when one sees the other as inferior or superior.
Facts.
And so a healthy relationship is one that is based upon and driven by a sense of equality and a shared sense of support. Despite her concerns with hetero relationships, I don't feel like the essence of Simone de Beauvoir's project of ethical love is exclusive to the love between a man and a woman. Instead, I believe that to strive for something she sees as both rare and yet possible, of a love in which both partners are equal, is a project relevant in any space where human connection is yearning to flourish.
That was a good video. High key. I feel like a lot of people just need to, rethink how they see love, bro. But again, it's partly because we don't have a solid definition amongst, that's like, what's the word I'm looking for, bro? Like shared in society, bro. I feel like everyone has a different definition of love because there's no solid definition anymore. You know what I mean? Because the old definition just isn't valid anymore, It's tough, bro, but, I feel like humans will probably figure it out before it's too late, maybe. I'm not gonna bet on it because humans still haven't figured out a lot of things, but we'll see, man.